Hi, my name is Jacob Hardy, and I'm going to have a quick webinar on using Padlet and social presence in the classroom. So, I am a science teacher at the high school level, and this tool would primarily be used at the high school level and probably at the middle school level. Where I think it might struggle is that it requires a level of digital fluency that may be difficult to find at the elementary school level, but probably could still be used and implemented there as well. It's a very versatile tool, Padlet, and can be used for a lot of different things. Now, we're going to talk about how Padlet here can be applied specifically to instituting a social presence in your classroom. So social presence is, in essence, the goal of an educator in any online circumstance to eliminate an individual and lonely educational experience. You're trying to create a community of learners that can interact with each other and with you and have a meaningful experience in your online classroom. So social presence is composed of 5 main components, and I'm actually using Padlet here to show that off to you. So that would be effective association, community cohesion, interaction intensity, knowledge and experience, and instructor involvement. And all 5 of those components together makes up social presence. Now, social presence being made up of those components means that certain tools do some things better than other things. My personal preference with this is that Padlet is a great way to establish a community of learners that connects with all of your students, and you can easily ask students to interact with one another. And it's also really cool so that you build a sense of cohesion and community built into your program. And what's even cooler is that you have the ability to personalize your experience, react with GIFs, images, things much like you would in Facebook, and they're super easy to implement. You also can implement things over a variety of medias that help you institute things. Now, I've actually thrown together a quick Padlet here, and Padlet is super cool because it is incredibly versatile in this for these purposes. If you want, for instance, for a science class, you want students to present material to you, students can present them to you on a Padlet in a lot of different formats. They don't have to be purely text-based things. They can provide images, they can provide videos, they can even capture videos, if they would like, inside their Padlet. They can draw. You can even record their screen. I'm not using that feature on this one because I wanted you guys to see my face, but it is possible for you to record video in Padlet and then present that there right on your screen. You could avoid just voice, film, you can take pictures, and you can even draw, which is one of my favorite things, and add in images that students can then interact with. Even better, this is a online kind of like discussion board, but also bulletin board style setup so that students can literally post, add something cool. So I misspelled add. Thing cool. And then add onto your bulletin board. And then other students can come along and comment on that and give feedback to them. This also opens up a pathway for the teacher to get on and do those things as well. Now, one of my favorite things about this is that we actually can do a lot of modifying to this board. And we can change things to allow us to help monitor and control this discussion board so that students can be more accountable for their actions on this one. So for instance, you can require approval before any post is made onto your board. Now, this would mean that as a teacher, you would be much more likely to you would be required to monitor this actively because students need to be able to have that ongoing feedback for your best results. You can even filter profanity by replacing it with emojis. Really, I don't find this part of the tool particularly effective, but you're going to have to establish some community guidelines in general about commenting and supporting other people's work. Now, a really cool thing that you can do is you actually can add grades too to posts as well. So if you want to make visible grades on Padlet for people to, you can do that. You can give stars. You can even open it up for other people to react by liking posts or upvoting things. I was told that you may not want to do some of those things just because then it can become a competition. But what's really nice is that it is such a versatile setup that outside of a lot of cosmetic changes, you can directly modify things so that it's no longer this bulletin board like setup. So if you come up here, you actually can change the format, and we actually can put things in a more streamlined setup based off of how things were. So give it on. There we go. So you actually can see things in the order that I added them now. So for instance, as a teacher, I could then modify the order that we're giving these things and look at them in a streamlined pattern. So I actually could deliver a lesson over this course as opposed to just making it a discussion board. Padlet is super versatile, and students can then post direct questions to the directions that I provide. So what's even what I like as well is that you can also embed videos. So if you were teaching a lesson, you could embed a video here, providing extra resources. You could even perhaps give tips, or you could screencast how to work with Padlet in your first use of Padlet and your experience of what you want them to do by providing them example posts to work with. So you could just, and even better, this thing is shareable. So you can actually get a link. I can copy my link to clipboard and then embed that, email it, even share it over Facebook, Twitter, and even better, you can share it on Google Classroom. So Padlet allows you to access a lot of different activities, but most importantly, it's a platform that allows you to make a discussion board that's fluid and dynamic and is not simply limited to the back and forth texts. So for instance, if you wanted to ask students to make a project, you could ask students, you could allow them to make a podcast and record the audio onto Padlet. You could have them take pictures from their things at their houses. So like if you wanted them to find something that they really care about, you could have them present those objects and then take a picture on their computer or upload that file onto the computer. In fact, if you want to, you can even connect this to another Padlet. So Padlet is a super versatile tool that, and most importantly, allows you to facilitate some of that community cohesion and interaction between students. So this is a short webinar on how you can do these things. Actually, I will be more than willing to help you out. So feel free to email me at phardy@blendedacademies.org or find me or even reach out to me on Twitter at Hardy P. Jacob on Twitter. So thank you very much for listening, and I hope that you're doing okay, and have a great day. Goodbye.